All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you. Now, this is probably going to be a hot take for a lot of you diehard Houston Rocket fans. Now, before I get into this video, I just first off want to say if you enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. It really means a lot to me. Also, it really helps out the algorithm, man. I'm out here doing this every day. You guys are showing me mad love, and I love it so much, man. This is so fun. So, a little bit of a hot take today because we're going to talk about trading Christian Wood. And I know a lot of Rocket fans just do not want to trade Christian Wood, but you got to keep in mind that what happens with a lot of teams and a lot of players is you start to gain this or develop this personal attachment to players, and that is a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. Now, I love Christian Wood, and personally, he means a lot to me because when I first started making Houston Rocket videos in the last 2 weeks of November, and I first started scouting this team, and I saw Christian Wood, I was like, this guy is legit. You look at his stats, and they really speak out. And you go back to even 2018, 2019 with New Orleans Pelicans, he only played in 8 games. And keep in mind, in those 8 games, he only started 2. So he's averaging 23.6 minutes per game. Well, in those 23 minutes per game, he averaged just slightly under 17 points per game at 16.9, averaged 7.9 rebounds per game, and he shot the ball pretty efficiently, 57%. And then he shot much better. He shot 61% from the field, and then not a great three-point season, 28%. So what does he do the next year? The Detroit Pistons, he's on the Detroit Pistons, and although he only got 12 starts due to like Blake Griffin and all that, mess going on in Detroit that's still going on, he averaged 13 points per game and 6.3 rebounds. So Rafael Stone sees an opportunity, goes out, he gets Christian Wood for about $45 million for 3 years, and that is an absolute steal of a contract. And on this season, in just 41 games, he had a lot of ankle injuries, 21 points and 9.6 rebounds. Now, it's really hard to knock on Christian Wood because there isn't really a reason to knock on him. I mean, he isn't the reason that the Houston Rockets only won 17 games. You also have to keep in mind that when Christian Wood signed that contract to come to the Houston Rockets, he's expecting to play with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. And so once those guys got dished out, Christian Wood took a real good leadership role, a great mentality, and he's like, I got you, Houston. I'm that guy moving forward. I'm that franchise player, and I'm going to show you. Christian Wood, in 2 years from now, when his contract's up, is going to be looking for max. And somebody is going to give him a max contract. And I'm thinking somewhere around that $28 to $30 million a year range. And although I love Christian Wood, the Houston Rockets right now are in a rebuilding phase. And if you have an opportunity to trade up in the draft and get a top 4 pick, one of the things, and this is something Swaggy pointed out to me, we did some digging. If you're not subscribed to Swaggy, go check him out. He's got the best Houston Rocket videos on YouTube. The issue is that a lot of Houston Rocket fans don't even remember honestly what the draft process is like. And with that being said, the last time the Houston Rockets had this type of pick was in 2001 with Yao Ming. The Houston Rockets in their time with James Harden, the draft was not it was not a focus. It was not a focal point one bit because you had James Harden. So buyout market, trade deadline, that type of thing, veterans minimum, those types of deals. And so now the Houston Rockets find themselves in a funky spot. They have a 52% chance to land in the top 4, and that is a coin flip. That is literally a coin flip. So with this being said, I think that the Warriors, they fall out. The Warriors pick, the T-Wolves pick is top 3 protected. If the Timberwolves fall into the top 3 category, they get to keep their pick, and if they fall outside, the Warriors get their pick. So I'm thinking if the Warriors end up getting that 4th pick in the draft, a Christian Wood for that swap works out perfectly for both sides. Now, my issue with Christian Wood isn't that I don't think he's going to get better. Obviously, he came into the league. Nobody really had any scouting on him. Nobody had any film really on him. I mean, he'd only played just a handful. He'd played less than 100 games at that point. Started in only, I think it was 16 games. As the season progressed, and there's a lot to do with the Christian Wood getting injured, dealing with injuries for pretty much the entire season once he rolled his ankle, a lot of teams started to figure it out. They started to figure out his game, and he struggled a lot. But the thing I love about Christian Wood is his mentality. So either way, whether the Rockets get that 4th pick, they trade up for that 4th pick, or they don't, and they re-sign Christian Wood to a max contract, I mean, I'm going to be happy with either one, because when I first started making Houston Rocket videos, I saw Christian Wood, and I even came out and I said, with James Harden and Russell Westbrook on the same team, I said Christian Wood's going 20 and 10, and you better put that in pen. And what does Christian Wood do? He goes out and he puts up 20 and 10 on the season. I mean, technically 21 points and 9.6 rebounds, but if you round up, he's 21 and 10. I don't want to get too much of a personal attachment to Christian Wood, because my concern is that when his contract's up in 2 years, he'll be about 27, 28 years old, and you're going to sign him to a 4 or 5 year contract, getting about $30 million a year. Max contracts really kill franchises. And my issue with Christian Wood is I don't know if he's that it factor. I don't know if he's that number one option, because if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think he is that number one option, nor should he be that number one option. I would so much rather have KPJ kind of handle this team, a Cade Cunningham handle this team, be that number one option, and Christian Wood's that 2 or 3, depending on what the Rockets do. Pay him a nice salary, $20 million, something like that. But he's the 2nd or 3rd option on a team. I hope he proves me wrong, because, like I said, this was the first year he really got an opportunity. Now, I'm not trying to knock Christian Wood, but what I think a lot of Houston Rocket fans don't understand is truly how long the rebuilding process takes. Unless you get that number 1 pick and you get that Cade Cunningham, I mean, we're talking at least 3 years here until the Houston Rockets could become title contenders. I know that's not what Houston Rocket fans want to hear, but that's just the ultimate reality, especially when LeBron James is in the league. You've got a loaded Western Conference. You've got the big 3 over in Brooklyn. Draft assets are the most important thing in the NBA. A top 4 pick in a draft is one of the most important things. Like, that is one of the most valuable things you could think of. And when you have a top-heavy pick, you have an absolutely loaded draft class like what they have or about to experience right now. If you have the opportunity to trade up and get that 4th pick, get that 3rd pick, whatever it is they trade up for, I would bounce on that opportunity right away. I would absolutely bounce on that opportunity away. And I'm really not trying to knock on Christian Wood, but if Christian Wood's going to be out here getting $30 million a year, being that number 1 option, only going 20 and 10, well, that's great. Why not get a actual superstar who has proven himself in the league if you're going to pay that amount of money? So if they're not going to go pay out that amount of money for this upcoming free agency, because none of the free agents in this upcoming free agency really fit the dynamic of the future of this team, I really think you got to explore, at least be open to the possibility of trading Christian Wood. And I know this is a hot take, but I really think you guys should hear me out, because max contracts kill franchises. And if Christian Wood is not a solidified number 1 option at the trade deadline, I would answer every call I'm getting about him. Any pick, any player with promising potential, I would hop on that opportunity right away. So the Golden State Warriors, they could really use Christian Wood. They're in win now mode, because you've got Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, and with only, who knows how long they have left. They'd be open to that opportunity. And I know not for a fact, but I'm relatively sure that Rafael Stone would be open to that opportunity as well. So get your minds ready for the possibility of a Christian Wood trade. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, if you're still listening to this video, comment Swaggy, and then go check out Swaggy.